Do I have anything now? I might have something now. Do I have commentary now? There we go, I have something now. Right, I was just checking on the stream and it sounds like we're back up and running. Welcome to PAR Tier 2. We are about halfway through qualifying. With our first runs, everyone done. With some interesting times and some interesting lap times on the board. But we're going to run through the grid for tonight. We're going to run through it tonight. And yeah, so tonight, frustratingly for me, as Red Bull team principal, both my drivers didn't turn up tonight. One was meant to turn up and just hasn't shown up. And the other one isn't here today. Obviously, Prodigy wasn't meant to, he couldn't just make it. Will, returning back again this week, isn't here. So we get a fastest lap, 1 minute 17.7 from Sonoris King. But tonight, we will have in the Mercedes, we'll have Mosmegan, not Mosmegan, that's just the chat from Mosmegan. We'll have Simon, who is 15th currently, and a new driver with us tonight, Dark Light, who's 13th, his first race, as Stealth Rex has rejoined the session. No Red Bulls tonight, but Ferrari have Coffee Machine. McLaren both have Side and Stealth Rex, both their two drivers. Alpine with Dubsy and Mosmegan, both their drivers. L Glasses and Alfie, okay, for AlphaTauri, both of their drivers. And then Sonoris King and Ollie Flynn for HAAS, both of their drivers. Anik Jawa, aka Prefiance. New name. Oh no, Prefiance. That would be their... Oh, Anik Jawa here, 8th at the minute. Prefiance would be their backup driver of McLaren TP, Corey. No, not Corey, Leo. Sorry. And then Tick in 7th. And Kai, both the Williams drivers. Kylie's actually 2nd in the minute in the HAAS, in the Williamses. And then the reserves tonight, Matt, who didn't show up, Baby Siglet, who was meant to reserve for Red Bull, didn't show up either, Leo, who is Prefiance in the Alfa Romeo, and Dark Light in the Mercedes. So there's our running. Then we have 5 minutes to go and 4 people without setting any laps. But we have a look at the map, and the next one round is one of the Mercedes, and it will be Simon now, and that is in starting lap. But the next one round will be Rust Chimp, who's at 11th for the minute with a 19.9. Who will come round now to finish his lap, and will he improve? Just about, so it's still in the 19.9s. One of the Alfa Romeos in the pit lanes. The next one is one of the Alpines. That's Dub Z. He's done 4 laps on those soft tyres apparently, so that's either a glitch or very weird. Stealth Rex is glitching out massively in there. But it is Side next, who is about to start a lap. So it will be a HAAS round next, and it will be Ollie Flynn, who looks like he's starting a lap. So next round should be the Mercedes of Simon, who looks to me like he's on a lap. Simon then is about to finish his lap, and it will be a 1 minute 19 flat to go into 9th place. One of the Aston Martins round next is Rush Chimp, who should be on an in lap. Yes, he is, as he dives into the pit lane pretty aggressively there. Mosmegan, no. So it is Dub Z, 1 minute 25 for him. And he goes up to 6th with a 1 minute 18.4. Great lap from him. In the Alpine, next round is Tick, who's on a starting lap, an out lap. So we will go to Side, who should... I don't know if that's a lap or an in lap. It's a lap. And it was going to be remaining 4 for him with an 18.2. Mosmegan starting lap. So we're going to go to the Alpha Tauri of L Classes, who's starting lap as well. So 2 starting laps. Next is the 2 Mercedes. Simon doesn't look like he's on a lap, so it will be Dark Light, who's invalid. So it's the HAAS's. And Sonoris King, the pole sitter at the minute. So we're probably about to come round to... Sonoris King actually coming into the pit lane. I think he could be done then. I don't know exactly what the timings are on the screen because there's the yellow flag in the middle of the park, which is frustrating. But he could be done then. We're going to go to Mosmegan then, who's about to get his 1 lap in. I think Sonoris is done. But Mosmegan then, where will he stick it? Only 14th. 1 minute 20 flat, and Sonoris King is done then. He is done from qualifying. He's retired, and that is his best lap of 17.7. HAAS next of Ollie Flynn. He's done as well. He's diving into the pit lane. So both HAAS's, 1st and 3rd respectively, are done. Alfie K crosses the line now. 11th. I don't think he's going to get enough time to recharge that battery and go again, so he's done. Dubsy 6th. He's done as well. L Glass is starting a lap, so we're going to go to Dark Light, who's next. 3 seconds of quicker than his lap before. But I don't think it will be enough to improve. It won't. It's enough to improve his lap, but it won't be moving him up anywhere, so it'll be sticking with a 1:28 in 15th. Next up is Preference, and he is not going to get any improvement on his lap. 24, he would be going 15th, but there is invalid on his lap. So we go to Tick, who's next around the corner. And he is not improving a lap, but he's going to have enough time to go again, or doing his lap another lap, but he's only going to have half battery for it. Mosmegan, he's done, and he does go up to 13th actually with a 1 minute 19.5. Next up is an Aston Martin. We're going to go for Rush Chimp. He's just going to have enough time to start this. A one and only Ferrari of Coffee Machine, who's starting as that very late. He's got to be very quick to get round there. He's got 10 seconds to get round that final corner. I think he's just going to have enough time to do it. Oh, and a flying Aston Martin of Chazza Plays goes 4th with a 1:18.1. Coffee Machine did... Oh, EA Servers, sad. 17.7. Pole position then for the Williams. I was thinking, was that a bit of a block in there from Coffee Machine? He had to go to get round, but did he block Coffee Machine at the end of his lap? Did he not block? Did Coffee Machine block Chazza Plays at the end of his lap? Stealthrex is still having problems. I think he's gone. Tick is done. He will remain 8th at best. So the next one round should be Rush Chimp, and then it was Coffee as our last two. It's called Rush Chimp then. Stays 14th, so we've only got one runner left, and that's Coffee Machine. But he's done. So I think we are done. Don't think anyone else can improve. We've got one driver coming round on a pretty quick one. But they don't improve. So that's our grid then. So, EA Servers, sad, on pole position then in the Williams, with Sonoris King in second. Ollie Flynn lines up third, so a good result for the two HAASes, and Chazza Plays in fourth. Sided fifth with Dubsy, sixth. Coffee, Tick in seventh and eighth. And at JWR, 9th, L Glasses 10th. Simon 11th, Alfie K 12th. Moz Megan 13th, Rush Chimp 14th. Darklight 15th, Stealthrex 16th. And Prefiance 17th. So that's everyone down across the line. So that's your grid. It's actually really close between the two drivers. I didn't know it was that close. 0.018 was the two gaps then. But we... Just going to invite Corey quickly, because we've got some time. Corey, Tail's done it. But we are good to go for the race then. I thought that was our first clip of the day for the Stewarts, but it's only one from Tier 1 yesterday. The one we had, the one and only we had yesterday. So there you go, there's your grid. Line up. Gap, we want 2 intervals, there we go. All set up and good to go. So we're going to just run you down the results from last weekend's first round in Austria, just so you can kind of get a brief idea of what the championship looks like, even though it's round 1. So Prodigy won round 1. Advert from the app as EA server sad has actually spun the formation lap, so that's a good start. But Ollie Flynn leads the pack, so the two HAASes just want to get their tyres done. Ollie Flynn is using ERS on the formation lap. That's bizarre. But Prodigy won the first round, but he's not here today. So Chazza Plays is our respective championship leader that's here. But there is people like Sonorius and Side closely together, actually. Archie Gouget, not racing tonight, came 5th with Stealthrex 6th, who is racing tonight, but he's down in 16th. And I think he's had a little bit of problems tonight. So that's not great. As one of the old OGs of PIR has actually just come on to chat again, so this should be interesting. He's just watching stream or something, I think. But we're about to get ready then for the race. 6 people watching us tonight, so hello everybody who is watching. I hope you are enjoying it, especially Asterix F1, who one of the big old racers here. But we are here now. A few people stalled or disqualified from the start. But we're going to get 5 red lights for the Portimao Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Or not just yet, but Stealthrex is on in the pit lane, so I don't know what's happened there. But it is lights out and away we go. It's a great start for Sonorius King. He's going to get the inside. EA Server Sad has got a poor start and might be swamped here. They've dropped down to 3rd at least, and there's contact in the midfield, and it is Side and EA Server Sad that have gone. Stealthrex, EA Server Sad and Side were in that, and that's drama. Pre-fence has gone as well, but Sonorius King and Chazza Plays, good start for them. Simon gets past Dubsy after the back straight. Carnage in there. L Glasses gets past Dark Light. EA Server Sad straight back on the grind, but not a good start for them. Side as well, trying to get back up for pack. Everyone really close together. Moss Megan looks like he was nearly side by side there with Anik Jawa. As we do have a side by side here with EA Server Sad and L Glasses, who are side by side. But L Glasses is not having any of that. He slams the door. First lap, up 6 places for Simon. Great start for him. EA Server Sad. Oh, Rush Chimp. Something's happened to Rush Chimp. I think that could be just going wide there. I'm not too sure. Or a mistake, because he did lose 2 places just straight away. There was no yellow flag, so he didn't look like he spun. But there is a yellow flag for Prefiance. He's going slowly, and he's coming straight into the pit lane. A Side spins again. The Side having a poor start, down 10. A great start for Simon, who was up 6. So a brilliant start for him. Also good starts, want to mention the first lap. Moz Megan up 5. Coffee up 3. Alfie K up 3. Just made up 2 for to second. And then up 1 was Sonorius, Rush Chimp, Dark Light and Prefiance. They're all at 1. Prefiance hasn't had the best start because he's already in the pit lane. Changing tyres. Probably got wing damage off that start then. Alfie K gets a move done on Moz Megan. And that is for 8th, but Moss Megan is going to dive back up the inside again. And they're going to be side by side down this hill. This is a really good battle, this, between the 2 drivers. But round the outside goes Moss Megan. And also joining the fight is Tick, who's going to go round the outside of Alfie K as well. So 2 places lost in 1 corner there for Alfie K. Not great for him, and he's already going to have EA servers sat on the back of him in a minute. His fastest lap goes to Sonorius King, expected 1:21.4. But we are looking for a good race here. And there is the move from EA servers sad on. I did look like there was a spinner, and it is Anik Jawar. It did look like someone was spinning when I was flicking through. Anik Jawar spun, and I was trying to flick through to get to the move from EA servers sad and Alfie K. But Anik Jawar spins them and drops down to 13th. There's a little dummy there from Tick to try and get past Megan. Oh, and nearly into the back of their own teammate, EA servers sad. He's had a EA servers sad, as in the EA servers are sad. Nearly goes into the back of their own teammate in Tick. Preference goes into another. He's gone for another stop. I don't know what's going on with Preference. As they come in for their second stop in 2 laps. So their Self and Stealth Rex are basically having a bit of a poor race here. Preference is actually retired, so he's not going to get any points off this start, and there will not be safe. There will not be a safety car. But already the top 2 have got a 2.2 second lead. They have checked out a little bit here at the front. But we might have an overtake here, and it's going to be with DRS down the main straight. DRS is enabled, by the way. We have hit lap 4, and it looked like Coffee Machine was going to go for a move on O'Flynn there. But that didn't happen. It's most likely going to be happening at turn 1. It can happen down the hill as well. But maybe that's not so as likely, shall we say. Rush Chimp is our first time penalty person of the race, as Dark Light also picks one up. But Anik Jawar does get past Rush Chimp then, and that is a in current battle, because it looked like it was in either a pretty easy pass. Alfie K, no, Moz Megan has spun, and he's dropping down to 13th place then. Sorry to Alfie K there, apologies. I thought that was you them spinning, but it clearly was not. But we're going to go back to this battle for P3 here. The two mates, Ollie Flynn, Coffee Machine, them. But together for that final podium place, but is very early on in the race. I think that rhymes actually. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Actually, I think I didn't know that. But here we go then. Side gets past Miles Megan towards the back, but we're going to have a look at this battle for P3, and you've got to be closer than that, like this, because EA servers sad has actually got past Tick there. There's another spin, and I think that's for Moz Megan. Coming out the final corner, it was, and if ghosting wasn't on, Dark Light would have gone straight into the side of Moz Megan there. But Moz Megan gets back onto track. He did not have the best round 1. If I do so, I'll just quickly double check. As Chazza Plays in second place picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings, so he's got to be very careful during this race to pick up any more. Moz Megan, he actually finished 7th last race, which wasn't too bad. We currently have 24 registered drivers on the championship table. Obviously 4 of those will be reserves. But no real... I mean, these 4 tenths things, as we see down again, 4 tenths isn't really enough. It's only going to get you down a tenth with the DRS. You've really got to be pretty close to get a move. This could be one. L Glasses and Alpha K, the 2 Alpha Tauris, as Tick picks up a penalty, multiple warnings. They're going to be stacking up, I think, during this race. Stealth Rex is in the pit there. I've got no idea what's happened to him. He's had internet problems, I do believe, this race. So that's not going to be good for McLaren. In the Constructors, with one driver 13th and one 17th. So I think they were actually doing pretty well in the Constructors. They were second, 2 points behind Red Bull, with Red Bull not picking up any points this afternoon. This evening, sorry. So that was that, and then third is Aston Martin at the minute with a driver in second and 12th, not too bad. Alpine in fourth with a driver 15th as Dark Light picked up another penalty, multiple warnings. 15th and 6th. HAAS in fifth with a first and third, so they probably will take over the constructor title lead at the minute with AlphaTauri in sixth equal on points to them. But the only team that hasn't picked up points at the minute is Alfa Romeo, with one of their drivers out and another 11th, but they will get points as you know, if you've been here for a while for PAR, you will know if you finish, you score points. And they've had some occasions where even if you we're gonna stop that a second, that sentence, so we're gonna come in a second once this battle for the leaders drop down. As side gets past Rushton, but we could have a change for the lead here as Chazza plays. Goes for a move down the inside. Will he get it stopped? Because we're going to look at back to broadcast, not the TV pod. They're going to be side by side, still side by side of the two race leaders at the minute. And it's a nice move for Chazza Place as he gets back up to the race. Oh, not back up. He takes the race lead for the first time this race on lap 7 for an overtake on Sonoris King. What I was saying is, if you've been away for PIR, whatever you want to call it, because obviously we're PAR now, but still with the PIR legacy. If you, whatever you want to call it, we still have the rule that if you finish, you score points. If you DNF, you would only get points if you count as classified. If you count as classified, you get points. So, I don't know if Stealth Rex in 17th will get points, even though he didn't do a single lap, because he's classified. But we're going to go to this battle for P3, as Coffee Machine, after putting some pressure on, he's got close enough for Ollie Flynn to get that move done into turn 1 and move himself up to P3. So a good drive for the Ferrari driver at the minute, up 4 places, brings himself into a podium position for a very nice move on those hard tyres. Surprisingly, I completely forgot to look at the tyre strategy at the start of the race from people. So we're going to look at that now. Most people have gone medium hards. You've got mediums from Sonoris King, Side, Moz Megan and Dark Light, and hards from everyone else. So a pretty evened out hards with a few people on mediums. So at the minute, Coffee will take the race lead, or the provisional race lead, because he's on the hard tyre later on. I have no idea how long these tyres last, as EA Servers, Sad, has got past Dubsy up to 6th place, so a good recovery drive at the minute for them, after the earlier incidents in the race. So, as Ollie Coffee Machine spins. That looks like it's at turn 1. We missed it. I don't know if it was a battle with Ollie Flynn another move or just a spin. I was too busy paying attention looking at chat when there was an incident. So that's my bad. Apologies. But Coffee Machine, after I was saying he was doing quite well, spun. It looks to me like it was a collision with Ollie Flynn, because Ollie Flynn is now dropped down to 4th as Simon moved up to 3rd. And the gap was pretty hefty, shall we say. I think it was about 1.52 seconds. So it wouldn't be just Coffee Machine spinning unless Ollie Flynn had to take drastic action. But that brings down Ollie Flynn to 4th and Coffee Machine down to 8th. So to get Yellow Flag 61, it is going to be Dark Light in the other Mercedes, who is reserving tonight for them. Having a pretty poor race down in 15th, but at the minute he will get points for them for the Constructors' title. Constructors' Championship, shall we say. We're not really going to call it a title, because we are still only on round 2 of, I think, 12... Why did I say the thing? 12 rounds. But it will mean they do get points with the reserve driver, so that would help them massively. So There's an overtake, and it's down the main straight. It's Alec JR getting past El Glasses in P10. So now Alec JR is in a AlphaTauri sandwich for that final. I was gonna say final for that top 10 spot. We could say top 20. I was gonna say the final point. Obviously, the rule: you finish, you get points. Doesn't matter where. But that could get interesting a bit because Cider's now caught up to the back. So that is now a 1-2. It's a 4-car battle in a minute. So that's going to get interesting. EA Server's Sad is on the back of Ronnie Flynn. And this is some brilliant pace for them. They were Kylie on Discord. And they are the other half of Tom, who races in Tier 1. So we are thinking, some people, shall we say, are thinking of the suspicions of Tom racing for them. Some people are saying, before in qualifying. But maybe it's just a really good recovery drive as they now move themselves up into P4 and take a pretty nice move there on opening at turn 1. Coffee Machine, though, is looking for a move at Tick. It looked like he was going to have a go, but they run out of space down his turn 1. With Coffee Machine having the more ERS. There's a yellow flag turn 1. It looks like it's side. It is side. Again, that could be an incident between that was 4. I don't think it was. Side actually goes out of ghosting as soon as Rush Chimp is there to the scene. Rush Chimp with a nice little block pass moves himself up into P12. While that's happening, Coffee Machine and Tick are having a little fight down there. But Side looks like he spun, and now he's going to go straight back at Coffee Machine down the hill. And he gets that place back into P12 with about 8 seconds to catch up to that lot in front. So, we're coming up to 11 laps done for these tyres. The battle of the front, since Chazza Place has got past, hasn't really changed. As Anik JY now gets past Alfie K. That looks like it was down the hill again, which looks like a favourite for people to overtake at the minute. There's turn 1 down the hill at turn, I've got to do the maths here, 2, 3, 4, turn 5. And then another move at 6, 7, 8, 9. I think at turn 10 going down to 11. But Alfie K there goes massively deep. We saw that. Completely got distracted there over something and made a massive mistake. EA Server's Sad has caught up to the back of Simon for that 3rd place. Question is, will they make a nice move for that place without any collisions or damage? That should be interesting, because also that's actually now a 3-way, just outside of 3-way fight, or just inside of 3-way fight for that spot. Or it's just coming out of 3-way fight now. There's lots of battles on track. You've got the battle for the lead, the battle for 3rd, the battle for 7th, the battle for 9th. So all of those are battles because they're inside a second. Obviously, if they're inside half a second, then that's where we can start getting exciting things about the overtakes. That's why we're watching this. 2 temps, probably on this track with the DRS. That's when you can start definitely watching that section and having a look. Yellow flag sector 2, it looks like it's Moz Megan down there at the back, so we will not be screaming at that, looking to look at it, because it looks like it's a spin. No move there for A Server's Sad. No move for Coffee Machine there, but he is really on the back of Tick, so we're going to stick with that, because I don't think... Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go to EA Server's Sad, because they are really on the back here, going towards turn 5 of Simon. They're going to have to go the long way around the outside. They're on the hard tyres, so they will be going longer on these tyres. But they get a really nice exit, and that's a move done. And while that's happening, Coffee Machine gets past Tick, but was that a move done? Yes, it was. Tick can't fight that, so 2 moves at the same corner for different positions. Simon drops down to 4th then. Obviously, him DNFing Austria. So he's hoping to pick up some good points this week, and he looks like he's going to get a P4 at the minute. But there are lots of people with penalties already. They've got Dark Light, Mosmegan, Rush Chimp, Alfie K, L Glasses, Tick, Dubsy, and the race leader Chazza Plays, all with penalties in a minute. Obviously, we'll take the more in-depth look at them towards the end of the race. Simon now looks like he wants to have a go back to that P3. I don't think he's going to be close enough here, but if he can really get a good drive like Coffee Machine did, he can have a go at EA Server's side again down in his turn 5. But he went wide, and that picked him up a penalty of his own. As Tick, right, just catch that there, goes for a nice move on Coffee Machine, which hasn't worked out. He should get the DRS down this back straight. Maybe he don't get DRS. I think you do get DRS down the back straight. I don't know why he has not got the DRS down that back straight. But that is a nice defensive bit of work for Coffee Machine, who's in 7th at the minute. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. See me work my body. I've got it in my head now. Who cares? Battles on track has calmed down a little bit. You've got the battle for the lead still going on, and the battle for P7. But the battle for the lead hasn't really been a bit of a scrap. Ding dong, bing bong, bosh. It's just been Chazza Plays, gets the move done, and he hasn't looked back at the minute. And the gap has really stayed the same. I think Sonoris is thinking about that penalty for Chazza Plays already. Tick is now starting to lose ground on Coffee Machine. So that battle might be losing out, and the only battle on track will be this battle for the lead. But I think with that, the pit stops is when it's starting going to get interesting. As we're going to get our first pit stopper towards the back. It will be Dark Light who is coming in. And it's going to be the hard tyres. That's interesting. Was that a hard stop for Dark Light? Ollie Flynn gets a penalty, and EA Servers Sad gets penalty. So the only 3 that haven't got penalties is Side, Anik, the 4, sorry, is Side, Anik, JWR, Coffee Machine, and Sonoris. The only 4 yet to get penalties. Could we see all 16? Because we haven't seen Stealth Rex race. So I'm not counting Stealth Rex, because I think he's had a bit of a poor internet problem today. Are we going to see the whole 16 racers get penalties this afternoon for track limits? Rarely happens that it rarely happens. There's only sometimes one person that doesn't, but we got 4 people yet to pick up a penalty. Yes, Preference didn't get one, but he's out. Capuche retired, so doesn't matter. He's retired. So will the finishers? Will all the finishers get penalties or not? Let's have a look at the Palace Liverpool scores. Rushton picks another penalty up. That's 0-0. I don't know why I'm looking at that, because I've got to commentate while I'm doing this. Because the only battle on track at the minute is starting to quieten down, because there were about three or four battles on track at once. But now we're stuck with one, and it might become a second one in a minute, because Coffee Machine has actually closed the gap down to Dub Z. So that could become a battle in a minute. 15 laps on the medium tyres. And it is getting a little bit dark. I got no idea if there's going to be rain at some point. And that could spice things up towards the end of the race. Especially as we're starting to get into into the 20s really. But we are going to get another battle coming up in a minute. And that is Coffee Machine and Dub Z. That is a battle now, sorry, because he's in a second. But it's not a battle that's going to scream at me, overtake coming in a minute. But Coffee Machine is one of those drivers that is extremely good at saving ERS. I think he's got the most at the minute. He does have the most. He has the most ERS of anyone on track at the minute. He is so good at saving it. So he, at some point, should realistically start attacking and be using that ERS. But that gap to that lead is probably because they've had the battle on the straights. So the gaps will come down, but normally in the corners, the gaps go up again. I don't think Coffee Machine's going to have a go here at turn 5. I think he's just going to be too far back. I think he is definitely now 4/10. Should not be a move, but there could be a move coming then. The L Factor to 3 is Mosmegan again. in the Alpine. That's his third spin of the evening. This time in Sector 3 towards the end of the lap. But we got... Oh, that's now got really close all of a sudden. Coffee machine, Dubsy. Will we see a nice overtake? Not at turn 10. Will we see one at down 11, 12? Or will he wait for that straight? He will wait for that straight then. Which is a bit... It's not risky. But you never know, that gap might creep up if Dubsy is good around the corners. I've just tipped my controller. He's not even going to wait. It looked like there was a mistake there from Dubsy, actually. So he wasn't even going to wait for the... as Dubsy actually pits. But Dubsy dives into the pit lane, and he's the first one in. And that's a surprise, because he's a hard tyre runner. Because some of the mediums have lasted longer than him. So was there a bit of a collision with damage? No, he's gone intermediates. Is there spots of rain somewhere on track that I haven't seen? Yes, there is. There are spots of rain, and Dubsy is the first one to come into the pit lane. There's rain now all over the track. Has Dubsy timed this perfectly? We will find out now. Alfie K is also in. He's also gone for the intermediates. So next round should be Chazza Plays. Because Darklight has now passed that pit entry. But we do see rain now, so 2 people have already gone in for those intermediate tyres. Will we see another one now? I think we should. Will we get another one in now? No. And Sonorius has gone for the opportunity of do what he doesn't do. And he goes to the pits. EA Servers, sad, doesn't go into the pit lane. Will Simon go into the pit lane? Yes. Will it be a double stack at HAAS? No. Anything stays out. Coffee Machine stays out. Tick stays out. Anik Jawa, will he go in for his stop? No. Will L Glasses? Yes. Will Side take a throw of the dice on the intermediates? Yes. Ross Chimp? No. So we have some of the leaders coming in. So the net race leader realistically, I think, is Sonorius King. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Rush Chimp picked a penalty. EA Server's sad. The pace that they're doing throughout this race is astonishing. Because they have caught up to the back of Chazza Plays. DRS disabled, so this is where you should really come into the pit lane. If DRS has been disabled and you're still on dries, this is where the intermediates start taking over. We shall see. Anik Jawa now becomes 3 people who have not picked up penalties because he's got his first of the day. Into the pit lane come the leading 2 then. As Chazza Plays picks up 1 for speeding in the pit lane. But we're gonna. Everyone should now dive into the pit lane. That is, who haven't already. So we're gonna keep an eye on Sonorius King and have a look at that mini map. Tick penalty speeding in the pit lane. Chazza Plays now has changed tyres and now coming towards the end of the pit lane. As Sonorius King goes wide of the final corner. Where is Chazza Plays? He is coming down the pit exit now. Where is Sonorius King? Sonorius King stays ahead of EA Server sad. And now goes for even Chazza Plays. And this could be a change for the lead. It won't. Good defensive work from Chazza Plays. But now will Sonorius go for a move down at turn 5? No. There's the L flag somewhere at turn 1. It's Coffee Machine who's gone off on the pit exit. Rush Chimp into the pit lane then. So now we're back basically to the same order we were apart from Coffee Machine spun. And there's someone off at the top of the hill. And it's Mars Megan who's now going to get lapped. Darklight gets another penalty. He's actually on hards. He's still on dries. He's on dries on a basically pitch wet track. I have no idea what he's doing. He's basically done his race 15th. Dumb. Has he already been lapped? Yeah, he's already been lapped. Same with Mosmegan now. They've both been lapped. But that's really interesting then. Back to the lead battle. It is a big battle, actually. Because now EA Server's SAD has actually made this a 3-race battle. But I'm just amazed that they've had that much pace to hunt down everyone and overtake them. Side gets past Alfie K then for 11th place. But we're going to stick... yeah, okay, we'll go back to this 11th. Well, it looked like it was just an easy turn 1 manoeuvre. No complaints on that one. So then, will we see an overtake somewhere in that lead battle? And it looks like it's going to come now. And it's... oh, it's not going to come now. I thought EA Server's SAD. It's going to go for a move. It's now fun into the pit lane comes down Dark Light. So we've got a weird predictive strategy stop when there's nothing to strategize. There was a yellow flag there, and my bet actually was... it was Dark Light. I was thinking it might be Simon, but it was Dark Light. So, Chazza Plays is checking out a little bit. But Sonoris hasn't picked a penalty. My money's on Sonoris at the minute to take the race win. But he's got to keep in the range of the penalties. And hold up EA Server's SAD at the minute as much as he can. Because that pace they're doing at the minute is unreal. And I think that could become very interesting towards the end of the race for the win. We've got the battle for the lead, battle for 4th, and a battle for 7th at the minute, and a battle for 11th, but I think that battle's done. And it is done. So we've got the battle for the lead, battle for 4th, and a battle for 7th. We're going to go to the battle for 7th, I think. And it is between Dubsy and Coffee Machine. These two have been going at it the whole entire race. And we could see a move here. And Coffee Machine is preparing one. He's going to prepare one then for the turn 1. As he gets a good exit, but he can't really get the power down to take a move on Dubsy here. But will he set one up here? That's an interesting lunge. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Bit of contact saying, give me some room, please, mate. That could be one of our best moves of the afternoon. Of the evening, sorry. Great move there for Coffee Machine. And he brings himself up into P7. And now we'll hunt down tick for P6 with just 10 laps to go. Nothing happening with this lead battle, as Sonoris is doing a good job of defending from EA Server's SAD. Alfie K picks up a penalty. Simon's doing a good job of hunting down Ollie Flynn. So at worst, actually at worst, it could be anything for 2 asses. But at worst, it could be, realistically at worst, it could be the 3rd and the 5th. But it really could be anything if they spin or retire or crash. Because there could be a crash with their 2 respective battles. There's nothing going to happen in this lap, I don't think, between those 2, and there's nothing going to happen between those 2. Ollie Flynn with a lot of ERS as well to defend from. Oh, someone's spinning there. It looked like it was Mosmegan. Was it Mosmegan? Yeah, it was Mosmegan, who is really placed actually. I was going to say, weirdly placed on the main straight. I thought he was beach them off on the curb. I wouldn't be able to get going again. So, yeah, that lead is actually extended a little bit for Chelsea players. We won't go into penalty looking at until 30. But interesting then for him. Half a second is the gap between Simon and Olifin, about 6/10 is the gap for P2, and a second now is the gap to P1. So the Chazza plays is starting to get pulled away a little bit here. And J was now hunting down Dubsy as well. That is now 7/10. So there are 3 battles on track. P2, P4, P8. And we're gonna go just P4 because I think this one could actually start to get very interesting then in a minute, because Simon has been behind Ollie Flynn for quite a while, and he will now look like he wants to get past. Ollie Flynn uses his 87 plus ERS to defend from Simon. Simon won't have a move. Ollie Flynn with 83%. He looks like he'll probably one of the most to have ERS that has ERS in an attacking position, but it might not matter because Simons was there a 10th off, for a move, and he's going to have a look here at turn 5 as Moss Megan retired. It was in the pit lanes, that's not going to cause a safety car, but Simon up at turn 5 with Ollie Flynn. Good defending from Ollie Flynn. That's brought Tick into play. Any more fights, and I think they've got to be sensible, these lot, because it's now from a 2-way fight to a 3-way fight. If they scrap too hard, it'll become a 4-way fight, and they don't want a 4-way fight for that 4th spot. Yellow flag sector 1 is Moss Megan coming back on track again after his pit stop, but he should stop at turn 1, and that will not cause a safety car, and we should be good to carry on as normal. Moss Megan, unless classified at the end, will not score any points this weekend after a P7 last weekend in Austria. So Chazza Plays has now got a 1.7 second lead. I think he's got more than 3 second tyre penalties though, so that won't matter. Simon goes wide, so can't really have an attack on Ollie Flynn. Penalties are going to be huge in this, especially with things like Anik Jawar and Dub Z, which Anik Jawar, with his ERS, with significantly more ERS, tries to go for a move around the outside at turn 1. He's going to have to wait a little bit here. As Dark Light moving up to 14th, getting past Moss Megan, who's retired. He's going to have to do a little bit more, is Anik Jawar, to get past. But EA Servers Sad is now fighting down Sonorius, and to me this will be the race winner who comes second because of penalties. We're going to have a look at penalties now. 11 seconds for Chazza Plays, 12 for El Glasses, 15 for Rush Chimp and Dark Light together, 6 for Alfie K, and then the rest have 3, 8 for Tick, sorry. So Coffee Machine will get Tick by penalties. So penalties are going to cause a massive change to most positions here. But this one here for, I think Sonorius is actually going to win this. Yes, he's got to stick without the penalty range. Yes, he's got to hope EA Servers Sad doesn't get past and then obliterates up the road. He's done a good job here, which could lead him to a race win. Because I don't think Chazza Plays is going to get 11 seconds of penalties removed, unless all of them are basically awful decisions that the game have done for him. So it looks like Sonorous King could be on a way to win this race. Simon then goes for a move on Ollie Flynn. Ollie Flynn looks a bit laggy there. I don't know if it was laggy on the game or laggy on him, but there's a really close between them. Simon looks at a move on Ollie Flynn, can't get it done. Tick now with 8 seconds of penalties, looks like he wants to get in this fight a little bit. And look who's closing in. He's in that 3 second range for those penalties for Ollie Flynn and Simon to move him up to 4. is Coffee Machine. That's what I was worried about with these lot, and they are not taking this lightly. Simon wants the place. This, obviously, it will be 4th position because they both got 3 seconds. But they're going to both lose out to Coffee Machine, and that's going to chuck him in up into 5th, sorry. No, it will chuck him into 4th, sorry. It will chuck him to 4th. And that will, it might. At the minute, Coffee Machine will finish 5th. But he's coming up to that stage where he could be 4th in a minute. If he gets more blitter in place, Ollie Flynn gets more pressure from Simon. But Simon is now starting to get pressure from Tick in a minute, which won't be for position because of penalties. But Anik Jawar and Dub Z are having a little scrap here. This is for position because of penalties. Anik Jawar gets through. Will Dub Z have a go into turn 1? Both trying to use ERS, and Dub Z has run out. But that, to me, looks like that is a move done. But Dub Z runs wide there, and that could be a penalty, track limits warning. Just a warning. But that could be a warning. One closer to picking up a penalty then. As Tick picks up another one for his 11 now. Coffee Machine is now getting onto the back of Tick, so that looks like he's definitely going to finish 4th now, I think. As Coffee Machine, which is good for him because he's had pretty good pace for this weekend. And yeah, 1 million left after his retirement. Coffee Machine then hunting down Tick for position on track, but will he decide to? He's got to crack on because it looks like Ollie Flynn and Simon are now starting to gap them a little bit. But now Sonorous is actually put into place, and he's going to go for a move on track here on Chazza Plays, and it's going to be outside 5, and he's going to try a switchback, but there was it looks like EA Servers Sad locked up or just missed the breaking point and merely went into the side of Sonorous to spin him round. Now this battle for the lead is starting to hunt up. We're going to have to look really carefully at the gaps to see when there's going to be overtakes and when there's not going to be overtakes. Because as you can see, you got half a second, you got about 8 tenths separating the top 3, and you got Coffee Machine. You got Simon half a second off Ollie Flynn. Coffee Machine 3 tenths off. Dub Z's retired. Something's happened to Dub Z at sector 2. Will that cause a safety car, VSE, something like that? If there was, it probably would have come straight away. The Dub Z's out, and no points for Alpine this race, unless Dub Z got classified in the final race standings. A mistake there from EA Servers Sad. And I don't think there's going to be any overtakes into turn 1. I want to keep an eye on it because it could start to heat up a little bit, and you don't want... I think Sonorous has got these in the bag no matter what. You will see how many penalties Chazza Plays has got and think, okay, actually, I don't feel like the Williams is going to gap me massively. So I'm happy to sit there and wait. As Coffee Machine gets the move done on tickets, his same routine at turn 3. But I was looking at the front runners, so it looks like it was turn 3. But he's going to be close, really close for that P4 now. He's got to put some pace in. He's got 59% ERS to use in these last few laps. The gap is now extended again for that lead. Obviously, it will not hit 11 seconds, no chance unless a spin or something occurs. For the front 2. For the second and third, sorry. This is not for position, this is not for gains. It is just the William trying to put pressure onto Sonorous. To make him get a penalty, to make him then be for position and to liven things up, but that gap has now come down a little bit. Sorry, I thought there was someone knocking at my door, but it's not. What are we on? 31, then. As Simon is now looking to have a look at Ollie Flynn. Obviously, this is all for position for P4. And now he's going to have a look surely at turn 1. No, he's not. More time surely going to be gained for Coffee Machine here with these two having a little scrap now. So Coffee Machine, unless he picks up a penalty for track limits towards the end of this race, should get that P4 realistically. So this will be for P5. But Sonoris is still in that prime position to take the race lead, so to take the race win. So we're going to stick with this battle for P5, or P5 with Coffee Machine in there for P4. Basically, at the minute, Coffee Machine 4th, and then Ollie Flynn 5th, Simon 6th is what I'm going to say. But then penalties but galore after that. It's going to be crazy. But safe to say, unless something happens in these last about to be 2 laps, Sonoris will win this Grand Prix. And he will take the championship lead, I think, as well. So, we are 2 to go. Simon now really looking for a move on Flynn, and he's actually going to go for one into turn 1, surely. Up the inside. Bit wide. Coffee Machine is now eyeing up a move on one of them. It will be Simon round the outside into 3. His prime overtaking opportunity at the minute. And they are really bunched up and something could happen here. And into 4 we go. No spinning, they've all kept it clean and all managed to keep position the way they were. Wow, that looked tight. Very tight. Weird line there from Simon. Will Coffee Machine get a good drive and a move going here? No. But this is really livening up now. Coffee Machine, really weird place to go for a move. He's going to go for one though. He doesn't need to make. And it's remained clean. And that is going to help Ollie Flynn keep his P5 at a minimum at the minute. And that's not going to help Simon at all. So Coffee Machine has done his mate Ollie Flynn a big favour. As we are going to start the last lap. So it will finish at the minute. Sonoris King, EA Servers Sad, and Chazza Plays as your podium. And after that, I have no idea, if I'm honest. But here we go then. The last lap of racing. Fingers crossed there's no glitches, no wrecks. And this race will be done. Please. But now, Coffee Machine is eyeing up Ollie Flynn pretty quickly. Will he go for a move on Ollie Flynn on track, or will he stick behind him and deal with the penalty? My view looks like he's going to go for a move, as we still have 3 drivers without penalties. Sonoris King, Coffee Machine side. No, not great drive there for Coffee. I think he's going to stick behind and have to settle for... Oh, bit deep there from Ollie Flynn. It's really weak. It's a bit laggy on the broadcast, so I don't know what's going to happen. But it looks like Ollie Flynn will keep the position on track, but then lose it to Coffee, unless Coffee picks up a penalty in these last couple of corners. Oh, that was weird from Ollie Flynn there. Just could not get the power down. So Norris now is really close to... These are really close together now. But we're going to go back to the race leader. He's going to get his last 2 corners. As Coffee Machine and Ollie Flynn are side by side, we're going to quickly go back to them before they hit the last corner. And we're going to go to the race leaders whether you like it or not. Because here they come to finish the race. It will be Chazza Plays to win on track. But it will be Sonorius King to win the Portimao Grand Prix, and we're going to go back to this battle for P4, which won't mean much because of penalties. Will they keep it clean on the final corner? Will they keep it very clean on the final corner? Will they keep it nice and clean? Yes, they will. It should be Coffee Machine to take a P4. Ollie Finn to take P5, Simon P6. It was exactly how I predicted it. Anik Jaywal will pick up P7. Tick will get 8. L Glass is 9. Side should get 10th. And then we get the final couple. Oh, actually, Side moves up to 8th. Tick will drop down to 9th. L Glasses will get 10th. Alfie K will get 11th. Dark Light 13th. You'll have to settle for that. Alfie K 11th. And then we should get a Rust Chimp at 12th. Fingers crossed that Stealth Rex is actually... It doesn't look like he has, which I'm nervous about. Please he's crossed the line. You know, we don't have a glitch. Or we have to sit here for this 1 minute 45 and wait for final classifications. We're going to have to wait for this 1 minute 45, aren't we? No, we're not. Rush Chimp crosses the line and we'll take P12. And there you have it. Portugal. Right, the Portugal Grand Prix. Good race. Good scraps. And yeah, I enjoyed that. So there you have it. A good race. A good scrap all around. El Glass it. So, fairly decent. Coffee Machine, the only Ferrari. 4th place here, not too bad. But good race. But my big question is, did not finish for these lot down the bottom. Dubsy, Rosbegan, Preference. Did not finish. But everyone else did, so they all get points. So well done to them. And we'll see you next week for round 3. We'll see you then.